to My Startup TV. I'm Major Sunil Shetty. With who have turned entrepreneurs in their second innings after obviously hanging their uniform. Today, my guest is Captain Harsh Kumar Singh, an ex-Indian Navy officer with 22 years of service. He has played key role in various operations including tsunami relief and anti-piracy operations. Post-retirement, he has dedicated himself to elderly care and veteran welfare. To his credit, he has successfully built 3 startups in healthcare and elderly care domain. Captain Harsh, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Major Shetty.
So, before I get into understanding, about your startup, especially which is in, elderly care, which according to many reports is, just the elderly support is about 7 billion. And overall, I think when you talk about medical care, accommodation, all of that, that's over $42 billion industry. And it's a challenging industry. Not everybody can be in it, if you're not empathetic about the cause. So before I get into understanding what the startup is all about, for the benefit of our viewers who are in the age group of majority of our viewers are in the age group of 18 to 24, and many of them are aspiring entrepreneurs or early stage entrepreneurs. So I want to use your experience of serving in the Indian Navy, and connect that to your entrepreneurial world. So over to you, and please if you could help us understand about your journey as a naval officer.
So my journey started way back in 1989. I was riding a cycle and there's a magazine competition success review. There was an ad for 10 plus 2x entry of Naval Academy UPSC and you'll get trained in Goa. So I saw that ad and during our time there were only 3-4 exams if you do maths in 12th exam. 12. Those were IIT, PET and NDA exam. So I wrote all 3 and got through in all 3. So decision was that guided me to join Navy was Goa. Being from Jabalpur, so we went to Goa and Goa, we went small academy first time started. There was a 4th new course. We were 5th course. And I've been very lucky. I had an opportunity to build that same academy as a founding member in 2009. It's India's biggest academy in Navy, Indian Naval Academy. So actual entrepreneurship, if you want to say naval career was very vast. I sailed, I was always on ships. Navy could give me whatever best I could get. I sailed 6 ships, big ship as navigating officer, commanded 2 ships. Then I was executive officer for 1 ship. And then I had a wonderful tenure in Navy, did staff course, whatever Navy could train me well, sent me all over good places. So actual entrepreneurship, if I have to tell you, I'll give you an example. This is year, I think, 1999. I was with my CNC on a Dornier aircraft and we were landing in Port Blair. He said Japanese made this airstrip in almost 4 or 9 months. I'm forgetting the numbers. And since independence, we've not been able to extend by 100 meters. So our task is to extend by so much time. So that time was a XO, executive officer on board a landing craft ship. So our job was to get good sand, or good earth from nearby islands and build this place with engineers in place. So Indian Armed Forces got together and we extended the runway. So now Port Blair has got all those big aircraft landing there. This was 1999. And then the opportunity came in 2004 when tsunami came. We were the first responders. Some 40 of us landed in a place called Trincomalee. It's the port. From there we went north where the maximum devastation had happened. So there we were given some implements and some genset. We had a crew. So we turned on the place from making drinking water to cooking arrangements, everything. And that point of time, Government of India, I still remember the High Commissioner there, Ms. Nirupma Rao. She gave us 50,000 odd dollars to resurrect the whole township, like almost 30,000 people. So we bought implements, we set up kitchens and all those things. And when the crew was leaving after 1.5 months, the president there came to see us off. This was the second entrepreneurship journey. And the third thing was when we landed up in INA. That time, you would remember Satyam Ka Ulta Mehtas. they had the contract of building the Indian Naval Academy. And that time in year 2009, Jan Feb, they had turned almost like they had financial crisis. And the institute was inaugurated and Naval Academy had to start. So we started from there, and you remember that time Commonwealth Games were happening. We had planned the best stadium. So and PT Usha was around in a place called Kozhikode nearby. So we built one of the best stadiums there. So this is how entrepreneurship by default Navy taught me. And the trigger point to start this, I took premature retirement in 2016 because my mom passed away. She was a diabetic patient and she was a healthy lady. She was very active, and but just that she couldn't manage her sugar well, had not taken a morning sugar tablets. At about 1 o'clock, she had a silent heart attack, and we couldn't do anything. There's a hospital nearby my house there, Jabalpur, where my parents were staying. So I thought if this is a challenge, and Navy had taught me so much. So it was an impulsive decision at that point of time that I need to do something. So we started doing it, and it kept happening. So this is what is entrepreneurship all about. My naval career in this.
I'm very, sorry to know about, how, your mother passed away. And I think that is the challenge, isn't it? When you look at elders, there is challenge of, how do you monitor them that they are taking the right medication? When you talk about elderly care, that is where the challenge is, that how do you ensure that they do what they need to do? Whether it is healthcare, whether it, keeping them engaged, keeping them healthy, both mental and physical. So, I would like to know as to, was this the reason that inspired you to found the company Imoha, and how did you identify the opportunity beyond your personal experience?
Okay, right. So we started with very small. Like I still remember in 2016, we have a club called Kota House. For plastic table and chair, I started with my colleague Dr. Manri. She was doing this. We were doing staff course in Wellington in 2007-8. So she's my postmate's wife, and she had actually started doing this program well before me. I plunged into it. So she was doing in Uti, Wellington, and Kunnur. So when I said I need to do it, she relocated herself to Delhi, and we started from a table chair in Kota House. I took whatever retirement money I had, I pulled in, and she pulled in. So incidentally, first 8 months were really bad. We finished everything what we had. We thought like we'll do the best thing in the world. We hired the best digital marketing team. We hired doctors, nurses, everything we hired. And the paycheck was so high. We saw automatically the customers will come, demand will come, and we busted all our money. So first 8 9 months was all bookish knowledge, all perception that we had. This is how a company or this is how it should work. They never fired. So somewhere around 2000, February 2008, 7, I started September 2017, and to be precise, October 2017, it became viral in Bangalore. There's a gentleman called Dr. Bhaskar. He transmitted in WhatsApp group, and suddenly it became viral, and we had over surplus demand. I still remember we had no money, and we had taken an OD from a bank to charter an aircraft from Spice Jet, I think. अभी थोड़ा ठीक नहीं बोलना, but chartered a, you can काम निकाल सकते हो अगर if you want. So we chartered a aircraft, Spice Jet, filled. This was 120 seater, 120 seats we had chartered. We flew down 68 caregivers whom we had hired earlier, and we had to lay them off. We mustered them in 2 days and flew them to Bangalore to start this. This was elder care, that earlier venture. We couldn't hold on to it. Then the second was virtual hospital we made. We thought ki now by the time the cost of money had sunk in, unit economics had sunk in. So we had reduced all our fixed cost, and we made a virtual hospital sort of thing. We had, by the time we knew a lot of doctors, we knew caregivers and all. So we became unit economics positive. And 2019, I met a gentleman called Somajit Roy. So he's a gentleman who worked very closely with Antara, Max Group, and he had built Antara in Dehradun, a very seasoned gentleman. He had worked in this program since 2010 as part of a JLL. So he's a CEO. So he got us, he spoke to me and Manpreet, and we were acqui-hired by a venture capital called Lumis Partners. So since 2019, I had not to worry about money. Money was organized by the venture capitalists, that is Loomis Partners. And Swamiji gave us the skill of corporate. How does a corporate work? And then me and Manpreet, we flourished and we started solving for the problems. And the solutions kept happening. So I'm very happy to say if you see the social domain or other place, the barometers of checking our success. So there is a educate people interest, educate supplies, educate amount of consumers who are benefiting from our services. And the program has evolved in a big manner.
So,
Uh, that is multiple experiences, multiple ventures, and which is a typical journey of the first time entrepreneur, isn't it? Where you start thinking, as you said, bookish knowledge. You think that this is how it is going to go, and the moment you get into it, the world of entrepreneurs throws a googly at you. So the current business model, how does it work, especially the holistic membership plans and service that you're offering?
Okay, first, there are four challenges in aging. The first challenge of the aging starts somewhere around 55, 50, I would say 50. The challenges in 50, sudden changes in body structures, our metabolism, our behavior, and then the challenges that we go through. What do you call your kids are growing up, you have to move into a house, you have to have a settlement sort of thing. So first challenge that builds in any person's life is somewhere around 50, 55, I would say. He starts thinking about his children's future, his retirement plans and all. The earlier you think about retirement, better I suppose it is. But current generation of ours, who are the current consumers of our services, or 10 years before us, they start generally thinking about retirement at the age of 50, 55. And if you're in a government service, you are well taken care. If you're not in government service, if you are an entrepreneur or agriculturist or a corporate guy, generally you not plan well. Now people have started planning well. The first challenge of an elder starts happening 50, 55 and 60. And when you get into chronic care management, you come to know suddenly that you have a diabetes or suddenly you have a BP, hypertension. So these challenges. And the first people out of 1 in 10, you end up getting strokes or whatever, some one episodic incidents visit to a hospital. And if you see all hospitals, 60% patients are over the age of 60, 55 or 60, I would say. 12% are the gynecology births that happen. And balance of 20, 22% is what is patients on trauma or other big diseases. So primarily the major population hospital are these people. So first we thought we will build a community, other thing. And the way we had the naval support system or a regimental system of armed forces, that is the backbone of our planning and delivery of services. So I still remember when we used to sail, we would leave behind a licensed sailor to look after the families who would stay back. And the families would come from distant places, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Telangana. Then places like Bombay, it's a challenge. Early part, it's a challenge for a family to even get a reservation, going to hospitals or whichever way their guests are coming, the challenge. So we initially thought we will build a support mechanism based on armed forces. So initial design of our services were based on armed forces. We would hire PBRs and he would act as a care manager. We will give them a team of a nurse, a handyman, and some technology for scheduling and managing the work. What Urban Clap is doing right now in a more organized manner, getting demand through what do you call through the application. So this is what we started with. And as we get deep into it, the second challenge comes for an elder beyond the age of 70 to 80, the neurodegenerative diseases. If you have dementia, Alzheimer's, and things. This is the second challenge. The third challenge happens beyond the age of 80 when infirmity sets in. You well, hearing losses, all those things. And if the solution can increase the quality of life and quantum of life and wellness, so here the business sense happens. And it's a solution by itself. Everybody wants to nobody would like to sit with a patient or with an elderly unless until it's a bloodline or it's who've been trained well at the home or who've gone through these challenges. So these are the challenges. So there were twin challenges to us. Problems were plethora, demand is abundant. but solutions are limited. Medical solutions are full. Hospital industry is well evolved. Out of hospital is well evolved. But the willing workers are very, very less. So NSDC has come up with. You have any questions, or should I go ahead?
Go ahead, please, please. Go ahead, go ahead.
So NSDC, National Skills Development Corporation, has come up with many, many programs like general duty assistant, midwifery, all those programs. These programs are all evolving programs, and as of now, we've got a demographic dividend, and we've got inexpensive labor. So we've got caregivers easily abundant. The issue is the bigger the money, it's an optimization of resource. One caregiver with one elderly is he is basically in a shift of 10 hours, actually doing a work of 2.5, 3 hours. So he can look after three, four elders. So if we can be optimized, so we created a solution. We created a team within a condominium, 5, 7, 8, 10 people look after the elders there. So, and the elders' problems are also limited, like morning elimination needs for infirm elders. Elimination generally because of our body clock and all is between morning 5:30 to 7:30. You have to do elimination grooming needs. And then if you neurodegenerative diseases, then you need to be giving environmental stimulus. Like you to take them out in evening, sundown syndrome at a particular period of time where they get stimulus, where they feel happy. And the third, the biggest problem is the caregiver, the brain of, since the brain of neurodegenerative disease does not work, the caregiver brain has to ensure that they follow the routine. They've fed well, eaten well, the hygiene is maintained, all those things. So there's a huge discipline required, huge empathy required, and then this ambition and empathy has to be matched because the young boy kid also wants to grow up in life, also want to live a good life. That part is solved. And initially, the people who are coming in this industry are deprived people who have not had, like they had deprivation of some sort of thing. So they are coming initially. So now chart out a career path for them. So I'm very happy to say at least 100 people have gone down to US. They are earning in the range of 150 to 200K. Japanese are talking to us for their. So as we do it, these sets of people will not have to apply for jobs. There is an abundant job for them. So this academy, the skilling centers of ours, like the supply side is getting solved. And this is a continuous process, optimization, supplies. Then the third, okay, to understand in the beyond 70 to 85, mostly the hospital needs and mental health issues need to be solved. Engagement issues need to be solved. So we do a lot of intergenerational activities. What is intergenerational activity? We bring in an elder, 80, 85, we help them to prepare NAV the way we are talking. So we create a good team of person who would go take out their memories, take out them, coax them, push them, and they give the presentation. And there's somebody who's in the age group of adolescents is sitting there. They understand the value, how she bought up a child, how was her married life, how was the migration. They migrated from a small village in Dundigal to Bangalore or whichever place. And how did they manage their household? How one single toilet for 8 people. Now everybody wants a single toilet. Nobody should use it. All those sharing, caring. So intergenerational activity this way, a culture is with, and they get motivated. And once they, and this is a lesson for marketing also. It's a natural marketing. They are influencer for me. I don't have to hire an influencer. I don't have to go to Instagram. So you see, our stories are flooded in WhatsApp. It's flooded in Instagram because then when they talk, so they take their own interest. Their kids take interest in promoting their parents' videos, parents' talks, and similarly, young boys and girls when they are supporting an elder, they learn lots and lots of treasures which is not documented. Panchtant ki kathaएं जो बोलते हैं, they learn. This is what we do intergenerational activity. Now coming to managing very sick patient. So now suppose medicine has evolved really well. There are cancer drugs, oncology drugs, which are so efficient these days. The length of life can be easily extended by 5 days with post-stage cancers. Most of the cancers are solved now. So now what used to happen, you go to hospital, you end up, I'll tell you a number, you'll be surprised. A customer acquisition cost of an onco patient for a good hospital, funded, public listed hospital is about 2.6 lakhs, one patient. If he's investing to acquire that customer at 2.6 lakhs, now see if that CAC is 15% of any marketing cost or any product cost. If 15% is a cost 2.5, you can understand the cost of care which these guys will evolve these hospitals. Multiplied straight by 7 times. The basic cancer is 50 to 20 lakhs. Got it. And somebody who's not got insured, who's not in the panel, who does not have out of pocket, it's like rich people can afford. What about middle class? What about people? Such a challenge. So we started optimizing those costs. If I can do certain things at home. So there are basically five functions of hospital. First is you fall sick, you go to an OPD. Doctor sees you based on his clinical experience. He'll write some diagnostics and pharmacy. The second function is diagnostic. Third is the pharmacy. And if he sees he cannot be treated at home, he says you get admitted, IPD. And post IPD, decision on surgery or other management decided. And last, how do you reach hospital? Through ambulance. So there are five functions of hospital, five ambulances. And if I have to move this hospital to home, I have to perfect these five functions. Pharmacy is products like 1 mg pharmacy. They're moving pharmacy at home. IPD is a challenge. I can't do surgery at home. I have to do surgery at hospital. And if I can do post-operative care in the step down in hospital and bring it home and do it well, this is solved. And to solving this, you require a lot of medical equipment like beds, DVT pumps, monitors, infusion pumps, suction pumps, whatever is required in ICU setup sort of thing. Those equipments are required. So those equipments, if can be rented or can be refurbished, can be reused, the cost comes down, keeps coming down. The real estate is of your house, the cost keeps coming down. So such patient management, post-operative management, end of life, palliative care, it makes huge business sense. So that is how you see most of the hospitals, big hospitals, are doing these programs. And suddenly, by virtue of being in this program, we had perfected it. Like, and I'm a navigation direction officer. If we can launch an aircraft from a tech and control that aircraft to launch a munition at an exact place, do you understand? The doctor instructions can be followed at any house using the tech we've developed our in-house tech. So this is amalgamation of all these problems. Solution is happening, and a lot of people are getting employed. I'm very happy to say we've generated employment to more than 10,000 people in this journey of 8-9 years. 1,000 people annum, and commencing this year, we are generating 4 to 5,000 extra employment per year.
Well, that is really commendable.
That while you're generating employment, while giving elderly care, as you said, you're upskilling people who are getting employment opportunities abroad, and that's kind of changing their lives as well. So, you talked about various services and at different stages. Now, all these needs to be, when you offer them, there must be some kind of membership plan that families looking for elderly care or support need to pick up. So if you could tell us what kind of membership plans do you have, and if you can broadly talk about the costing that it would cost for for people, families who want to go for the service.
Okay, we have a plan which starts as low as like 499, wherein we have an exclusive number we will give you, where you can be a coordinator or like personal banker sort of thing, a personal daughter sort of thing for you. This is one plan. Then this is for individuals. Then the second plan is corporates can buy the plan for their people. We'll set up exclusive desk. Then the third plan is somebody who's staying all by himself. This is worried about emergency. So it's a costly plan. We set up the emergency. Primarily, it is an ops heavy program. You say it, we optimize as per you, but every elder will have a challenge. It's a very unique problem for everyone. So best program which we have developed is neighborhood care model. So suppose you are a group of people staying in a condominium. There are 400 flats, and out of that, 12 to 18% people are elderly people, and about 20% in the mid group. So we set up a team of resources in that condominium, and condominium pitches in with a space, and EWS is nearby. We buy or rent accommodation. So primarily in healthcare, you must remember it is the pain that has to be managed very quickly. Scheduling. Human beings are huge required. Whilst technology can get you an expert advice of a doctor, technology can help you to monitor whether that resource has done it well, program or not. But finally, last mile connectivity is a resource. Is a human being, a well-trained human being who's situationally aware, who's able to follow the instructions of doctor, and who has got ethical behavior, who's punctual, who's disciplined. So the amalgamation of these 3-4 problems can solve more. It's highly customized, but the plans are listed on our website. There are 4 of them primarily. One is a basic plan for as low as 499. You get priority access to our services. And more you get into our services, you are well prepared. So we are preparing the consumer and their next of kin to be prepared for any eventuality which may lead because of aging.
So,
Where all you, I mean, your service is available? Is it pan India or select cities currently? And what are your plans for expansion?
Okay, we follow two models. One is company owned, company operated, and franchisee owned, company operated, and franchisee owned, franchisee operated. As of now, we have over 200 franchisee partners all over India. And we are, as a company, we operate in 23 cities. So if you say we've got
and
a pan India coverage right now, as of now, and where the franchises are 6 months and old, they're fairly evolved. They have fairly good amount of resources, and our franchisee partners are very well trained. And mostly, our selection procedure for franchisee partners, we match empathy with aspiration. We have a lot of veteran officers as our franchisee partners. We have a lot of doctors who've taken our franchisees. We have got lots and lots of philanthropic people or corporate type people who've taken this. And the workforce, our training centers, our migration support system, we provide the back-end support. So they are also uh, growing at a very fast pace. And within a year or two, we're aiming to set up our own academy for training these caregivers. And our sister company, Epoch, which is expanding and building assisted living facility at a very fast manner. Our new facility is coming up in Balewadi, our sister company, Epoch, in Balewadi, Pune. It's a 76-bedded facility. It can, because I have helped a lot of American care homes, NHS I've been helping. And I would say for sure this facility, if not 19, will not be 21 also with American international standards. Best international standards. Their facilities in Gurugram are the best international standards. In a lakh or 1.5 lakh rupee, you can get a fantastic assisted living facility on a monthly basis. So these are the programs because ours, the way of we are looking at solving from full spectrum of services. Engagement team is fantastic. We do a lot of engagement with partnership with neighborhood hospitals. So wherein the hospital sends his doctor to the condominium, and our team of engagement people they curate programs for the condominium. So it's like we created a clubs within the condominium, floating clubs. We have our own property there. We're building it very fast. So in Delhi NCR, we do almost Delhi NCR, Bangalore, Chandigarh. We do almost 200 events a year. So it's growing
so
very fast.
No, that is really nice to hear because it's not limited to just caregiving. You're taking it beyond because you're trying to touch upon, as you said, make them feel part of this society, make them, their experience, bring back their memories, make them relevant even in today's time, even if they're going through, various challenges. So, what kind of support do you provide to your franchisees? I mean, if somebody wants to, take up your franchisee, what does it involve? Is there a fee? What kind of fee do they have to pay? Do you provide trained human resource to them? If you can just go through that, if you can explain that part.
So to begin with, we charge our fees anywhere from 5 lakh to 7.5 to 10 lakhs for 3 to 5 years, depending upon the geography and the business prospects. And then what we do proper training, handholding, resource management, hiring for them, getting connections within the hospitals. So we help them to build and scale the business very quickly, and we do take some royalty out of the revenue. So there's a selection procedure for franchisee partners also. So we have got certain set of questions, certain set of evaluation. Once a franchisee partner is evaluated, we have a full process of training him. Before he gets onto the ground, we train him really well. And then because of the brand presence and because of the practices we've evolved, the process we've evolved, we give everything to the franchisee. And we do handholding. We put supervisor people with them, handholding. And generally, initially, franchises come as a franchisee-owned company operated. And once they get some, they are able to run on their own, they can move to franchisee-owned, franchisee-operated model. So
and
it's a so the current set of franchises, generally 3 to 6 months, they start making break even or start making money. 6 months generally takes time to make the money.
And what are your expansion plans going forward? And are there any challenges which are which you need to overcome to achieve your goal? Be it India or international expansion.
The three biggest challenges which I foresee for this industry, not for us, it's for anybody who's in this business. is trained manpower. Because the demand is unsatiable. And we hardly have, like, if I have to say, in this 9 years, how many caregivers would I have who I would say are very good, who are well trained? Not more than 4,000. And demand is in lakhs and hundreds of thousands. So the biggest challenge right now is training these people. Second is government support. Our people are going and working in various households. I can only verify him till the time he goes to your household. I can give antecedent verification till the time you go household, and our thing is really good. Like our Fauji's are so good. Our Fauji's network does this verification. Our verification, like when you place a caregiver, he does a video call to his parents and shows that this is my new workplace, and that's how we know his parents are existing. Right or wrong, he not fudge the Aadhaar or whichever way. So we do much beyond that verification. We do much more work than what a beat constable would have done it, verifying the three letters and all those things. We can only take it till there. Beyond what? If he does a crime inside a house, who indemnifies it? Who does it? So this is the second biggest challenge with this industry going to face. Third challenge, which invariably is like in errors of medical negligence or medical, I would not call it negligence. It's error of judgment. So suppose somebody is managing a central line at home, a sick patient. So the laws and indemnification process in the hospitals are very well defined. You sign all the forms and all. Paperwork is well defined. That is evolving in most of the hospitals are doing this program. So hopefully they're getting into it with their experience running hospitals. They will evolve this program. And then the last and the most difficult proposition of this, our RWAs are all democracies all over places. So what happens? The care component. I have seen. I looked after almost like 200 RWAs. The RWAs which are focused on welfare activities or growth or the community thing, they are striving well and they use the resources well. So, but if these RWAs are not aligning with the programs, with these care programs, they don't succeed. So, education of the society in understanding that all of us are going to get through the same problem. Like I'm giving an example. I have been I'm in the field most of the time, meeting people, elders. A grandchild for people in Delhi, NCR, and everywhere is like 34, one child. Grandchilds are reducing at a very fast pace. The clients that I made in 2017, 18, they had at least 3, 4 grandchilds. And the clients which I'm making now, the consumer who are taking a service, they have 1 or 2 grandchilds. So now think about this way. You read all these reports. Japan lowest birth rate now. We are hitting 1.9 TFR. So see how they took 3, 4, 5 decades to age. We'll age in 2 decades, 2.5 decades. Like I am 52. When I hit 72, I'm very sure my son will not marry by then. Or he would have married, he wouldn't have produced a offspring. And a grandchild is the biggest thing which I have noticed for intergenerational activity for a elderly. His mobility. The mid 40s is now, you're in 60s, you feel like you'll do everything yourself. You know, with this life aging increasing or lifespan aging and very domiciliary support. We are so blessed. We have a lot of domiciliary support. But now I am seeing the challenges of domiciliary support. So these are the challenges for this industry. And the more the people are educated, it's like insurance, the way insurance people educated, then we need to educate that you need to prepare for your this thing, form a community to help each other. This is what is required.
So as a soldierpreneur, it's an amazing journey for you because you started off, did multiple iterations with your business, exited a couple of them, and you're on a journey which is definitely giving you the rewards for the work you have put in. So keeping that experience, what kind of what would you tell all of other veterans out there or people who are still in uniform? What kind of advice would you like to give them if they're trying to win, if they want to become entrepreneurs?
Okay, 3 things are very important for entrepreneurship. I would call it Fleming's left-hand rule. If you see, very important. Fleming's left-hand rule, if you see displayed, and they are all at loggerheads. So if you are to be an entrepreneur, solutions. Everybody knows the problem. You'll be able to solve it also. But ability to acquire consumer, ability to sell is the first ability which you must have as an entrepreneur: ability to sell. Because if you are unable to take your program or your solution to hundreds of people, there's no use having the best of the solution, best of the thing. So all of us have the problem. We all know the solutions. And somebody who sells well, probably with experience, is generally able to make a better solution also. Because he's got that many more experience, that many more feedback to solve a problem. So my success started when I had many consumers. I got a lot of feedback. I learned a lot. And our sale, instead of selling, we have waiting list now. Because
That's
we learned so
commendable.
much.
Yeah, that's
For
commendable
a
for us.
startup to be able to say that, because many startups very rightly put out, ability to sell. Where many startups struggle, that's the first place, or that's the holy grail, where you build a product, you build a service, but how do you sell it? So I think that's a key takeaway. As you rightly said, everybody knows the problem.
And
Yeah,
second
go ahead,
takeaway,
go
give
ahead, go
3 years. Second takeaway is give 3 years. This is like your academic training
Yes.
is for 3 years, your graduation is for 3 years. Everything, give 3 years to yourself. You can pivot, you can fail fast, but give 3 years itself. Believe in yourself and give 3 years. Trust me, first year will be all, you require plenty of self motivation. Second year is like you should be prepared for face plenty of self criticism and criticism from near and dear ones. And third year, face challenges from your competitors who see you as competitor. They'll eat you up, or they'll buy you up, or they'll finish you up. So if you survive these 3 years, fourth year, then you are a problem for the new entrepreneurs.
Very
And
important in those 3 years also is to ensure that you don't dry up your resources or your finances, isn't it? Because that's the critical part. As you rightly said, most people do the mistake of burning everything that they have in the first year, thinking that they do the best of it, best website, best business card, and those really don't matter, because at the end of the day, somebody who's in the service sector need to provide the best service out there. So that's why you need to be able to spend money where it really matters, not on things that don't matter. So, if that is okay with you, yeah.
An office. I have offices in the
that was not
condominiums, on the clinics. Personally, though our company has a huge office space, everything, because we have other programs running, corporate programs and all,
yeah.
and we need to have a lot of international guys keep coming meetings. So we have a huge office. But I being on field running these programs, I have not made an office for myself. None of my team members have an office, and zero attrition rate. Zero attrition rates. So what our offices are where? Our offices are clinics. Our offices are condominiums. Our offices are co-works. So none of our employee travel more than 12 minutes. This is how we calculate setting up a condominium, setting up a clinic, or setting up a accommodation migration for that guy. Suppose a nurse who joins us, or a manager or doctor who joins us, or a Fauji who joins us. So his accommodation would be found, and the clinic will be set up there, or a business will be set up within 12 minutes of travel. You should be able to walk to his place of work. And this we've ensured in places like Delhi NCR. Now you can understand what level of time space management has gone into it. Service design.
And that kind of thing
Can only be done by a 4G or by a soldier, and definitely somebody like from the Navy, because once you're off the land onto the high seas, the only thing you can do is pray, isn't it? When you're sailing on the high seas, so you have to be fully equipped and self-sufficient to survive that journey. So before I let you go, I also want to know if it is okay for you to talk about numbers a bit quickly, if you can do that, about your current valuation and what revenues do you make.
Revenues wise, we do like, I can give you a daily number. I have a real snapshot with me. Okay. We are doing currently almost like 70 lakhs a day. So 365 से multiply कर लीजिए. Almost
that's
like.
commendable. I must say congratulations to you, sir. Congratulations. You built
No, so
a good business model.
it is like a franchise in all those things. So we are looking to go somewhere around 100, 125 crores a month in a 16 to 18 months time frame. So that is a demand. We foresee it exists. And the valuation is the game of our VCs, so I may not be able to give answers because our
I
cap table
understand.
is really very strong. People like Rain Matters are there in a cap table.
No,
So
that's
So,
that's
enough
enough
because
because
so
your revenue speaks.
purposely I've not got into the that part of the scheme because my aim is create solutions and become suitors are after you should become so good कि suitors run for you. आप बना तो उतने बात तो money has never been a problem for a right idea or right business.
so before I let you
So,
go,
MyStartuptv, we are a media house dedicated to entrepreneurs like you. Our mission has been to provide that platform which mainstream media doesn't. So we have various verticals through which we do it. What are your thoughts about the kind of work we are doing?
Look, I've known you for now 8, 9 years, and I had only one presentation. I had seen one presentation of yours. And that point of time, the way you explained it, I got motivated about 9 years back. When you explained your journey of Iraq, Afghanistan, how you would connect the supplies, how would you solve the problems. You told me about their weapon cleaning, their berets and their boots and all those things. So if you don't tell stories, if you don't bring out the right talent, how will you populate the idea? How will you are like a, I would say you guys are motivation for the entrepreneurs. You can give them those catalysts. Okay, don't go down. Like you remember your academy days in second time you're running across country or in a camp, you're falling down. A course mate of yours will lift it up, the stronger one will lift you up. So the way you guys connect, and if you don't speak about ourselves, nobody's going to speak about yourself. So the way you take it out, the best stories, the way you reach out to a lot of people, and the credibility that you bring in to your. I've been reading your articles. I don't know how it fetches up to me through WhatsApp or wherever. Once in a while, I'll read your article. I just read your article on what is POTUS or the MAGA is doing right now. I read a fantastic article, and I must say you, ki I have a habit of reading international business because I have myself studied international business IT and have businesses in America and US and UK. So I keep reading about it. And the way you expressed it, fantastic. And how would you express it until you meet people, you correct people. So experience that you gain through your journalism, through your this thing, and without any doing one same story, the most of the channels which do. You're doing a constructive work, motivating people like us to do good job. So fantastic, you're doing a great job, and trust me, the articles that you write, I don't know how it fetches to me, but I do read up. Last one I can tell you is about that. And 7 or 9 days back, I read a little bit more about same tariffs and all. They're very contemporary. I don't know who does your research or you do it yourself. Fantastic.
thank you, sir.
Thank you for
Thank you.
the kind words. And yes, I do my own research, and I'm still old school when it comes to journalism. I don't believe in the shouting match that happens in the mainstream media, and that was one of the reasons why I took to entrepreneur journalism. But I said I'll talk about business. I'll talk about entrepreneurs like you and bring their stories to the world. Thank you for joining us, sir, and we look forward to hosting you, in future again on some of our panel discussions. Thank you for joining us. Viewers, if you want to hear such interesting, stories and journey of entrepreneurs, join us from 4 to 6 on Monday to Saturday on Founder Talk Show or Thought Leader Show, and on Fridays you can join at 3 to 4 p.m. on Soldierpreneur Show for soldiers who turned entrepreneurs in the second innings. Thank you for joining, and we'll see you again tomorrow.